my name is Monica Williams. I'm the flute teacher for the Contra Costa Music Guilds, and today's tutorial is about harmonics. We're going to talk about what they are and why they're useful, and then some exercises to help us with them. So harmonics are notes that are above the range of the given note that you're on, and it really extends us so that we think about strength in our embouchure and flexibility in our embouchure. So it helps make our high notes easier. And this is one of the things that I get asked the most when I am teaching flute is how do I make my high notes good? How do I make them in tune? How do I make them not so loud? How do I make high notes? So harmonics are a great tool for helping with this. We're going to start with some exercises to kind of illustrate this. We're going to start on a G. And just like we did in the first exercise, I'm going to actually hold the flute here. Now, I'm assuming that some of us have been playing a while and you don't need to do this. Why am I doing this? It's because I just want to stabilize the flute and concentrate 100% on what's going to be happening here in my embouchure. Eventually, we will play with more of the fingers. So I want to hit a note that's low, then the normal high note, and then one note beyond it right now. As I do this, I'm going to change my vowels that I'm doing inside my oral cavity. So I like to think of my lowest note as an oo, and then an ah, and then almost an e, ah, o. It helps me vocalize through the range of the flute, so I'm not just 100% using this or my air direction or air support. Those other things are important too. So I also change my embouchure as I bring my lips forward. It's making my embouchure a little bit smaller, which is making my airspeed faster. So my embouchure, to reiterate from the other video, it starts off low, blowing down a little bit more, and then a little bit more across from a medium one, and then more across from my high one. Everyone just try this with the fingers again and think about the vowels in addition to that. Ooh, ah, ee, ah, ooh, ah, ee. There's some other vowels you can use, but let's use those to start off with. And go ahead and pause this and do that a couple of minutes, just thinking about the vowels, and then blow with the air. Okay, good. So hopefully you saw that your tongue position just minimally micro changes as you do the vowels. Ooh, ah, ee, ah, oh. That will help facilitate some of these high notes. Okay, we're going to start with G. I'm going to hold my bottom hands, my right hands, around the neck of my flute so I'm really stable. I'm going to make sure I'm not turned in. This is one thing that I think some flutists figure out early on. If I turn in my flute, it makes it a little easier to get my high notes, but it doesn't make it better. It makes it flat, right? Makes the pitch a little thin. It makes it a little flat. So I'm going to make sure I'm stable here. I'm going to play my low note, my medium one, and the overtone, and then down again. Go ahead and just try that, starting and stopping the pitch. You can just tongue the note if you like, but then we're going to slur it. Okay, now let's do this slur. These are lip slurs or harmonic exercises that are going to make us much stronger. As we go higher in the scale, it's going to get slightly more difficult. It adds another resistance. I can like to consider these harmonics like workouts for our lips. Our lips are muscular and they have to work like little teeny muscles working together to make it kind of like an athlete would. Athletes work out, right? They lift weights. This is kind of our version of lifting weights with our embouchure. So we're going to start on a G and then we'll add resistance as we work up a chromatic scale. But first on a G. Now I want to go between my medium and my high. And here's the thing, the more advanced you are, the softer you should be working to get it in your high register. So don't get this, which is just me blaring air, right? We want the control. So medium to high, and see if we can kind of be nice and docile. Ooh, ah, nice and smooth like a swing. Ooh, ah, or ah, ee. Now let's do the same thing with an A flat. First the 3 pitches, slurring. Now medium and the high. Okay, and you can go up to an A natural, a B flat using your B flat thumb key, a B natural, and then finally a C. I'll let you do that on your own. You can pause this video and try that now. Remember that if you're finding yourself using a lot of air, go back to really making sure that you're changing the direction. Make sure that the embouchure is moving a little bit smaller. Make sure your bottom lip is moving a little bit more forward. Make sure your teeth are kind of apart. You don't want them to be really tight together. You want them to be kind of relaxed and thinking ah as your neutral home position. And then think about those vowels, like literally singing through it. Ooh, ah, ee, ah, oh. You can also use 2 ahs at the top. Ooh, ah, ah, oh. But it's not the same each time. Okay, now let's try and actually have some fun with this and play a song. To do this, I'm going to do a screen share here. And we're going to play this bugle call melody all on a low E flat. So low E flat, of course, is with your first finger down. 1, 2, 3, it's like a normal E flat, but make sure your first finger is down as well. This is a song that you can play using just this E flat. It was played on a bugle. Bugles didn't have any of the valves, so they would just use overtones or harmonics to achieve the pitches that they desired. So you'll see these little markings here that are triangle notes. This is the note that's going to sound. This is the note you're going to play, the low E flat. And it's going to actually sound an octave higher. So it'll sound like this. Okay, but you're going to finger this low E flat and get all of those overtones above it. Repeat it. So go ahead and try this with me. I'm going to play the real notes just so that you can hear them. And I'm going to play them very, very slow. And you're going to finger the overtone. Okay? 1, 2, very slow. So that's a kind of a fun way to explore harmonics, is to actually play a song. This is part of the Blocky Method book number 2 if you're interested. She has great materials on her website to help with this, and also some tutorials there as well. So that was our overview of harmonics and why they're so important to include in your warm-up practice, because it is like a workout for your embouchure. Think about it as something that is in training, so that when you get to those super high C's on the flute, or high B flat or B natural, you've already trained and prepared your embouchure for them because you've warmed up like that. So hopefully you'll find this helpful. The next one will be about breathing, which is also important to all aspects of flute playing.